This is LSAT PrepTest 19, Section 1, questions 1 through 7, the first logic game of this test. Okay, so what do we have? We have that during a period of 6 consecutive days, day 1 through 6, each of exactly 6 factories, F, G, H, J, Q, and R. Okay, so F, G, H, J, Q, and R. Okay, will be inspected. During this period, each of the factories will be inspected exactly once, one factory per day. So a sequencing game, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One factory a day, 6 factories, so, we got to use them all. Okay. Schedule for the inspections must conform to the following conditions. Okay, so first, F is inspected on either day 1 or day 6. Okay, so the first rule immediately just lets us split it into 2 scenarios. Either F is on day 1 or F is in day 6, right? Okay. Next, J is inspected on an earlier day than Q. Okay, so J earlier than Q. Next rule, Q is inspected on a day immediately before R, so Q and R are actually back to back like this. Okay, great. And then if G is inspected on day 3, Q is inspected on day 5. So if G is inspected on 3, that implies Q is inspected on 5. Okay. So, these are pretty simple, pretty straightforward rules. There's nothing really that can be divined from this, I guess. The other thing is that we have F, we have J, we have Q, we have R, and we have G with rules, meaning that this H term right here, we actually know nothing about, right? So it's just a floater. Alright, so it'll do whatever it wants. Okay, so this being what it is, there's not a ton of actually I don't see any inferences to be made here, so forget it. Let's just bracket this off. Let's just go straight to the questions, where hopefully we'll be able to get some insight into what's going on. All right, okay. So question 1. This is just your typical acceptability question, right? Which of the following is in order from day 1 and day 6? So let's actually just reproduce them so we can talk about them. Okay, B is G, H, J, Q, R, F. And then we have G, J, Q, H, R, F. We have G, J, Q, R, F, H. Then we have J, H, G, Q, R, F. Okay, so first things first, F has to be first or last. First, last, last, uh-oh. Yeah, okay, next rule, J before a QR block. So QR is here, J is here, so no. J before QR, that's good. J before Q and R, but Q and R are separated, so that's no good. J before QR, that's fine, right? Last rule, if G is in 3, Q is in 5. So here, G is in 1, so we don't trigger that rule. Here, G is in 3, but Q is in 4, so that's not going to be right. So therefore, answer choice B is the correct answer here. Alright, moving on. Which of the following must be false? Okay, so they don't give us any new information here, which means that we have to be able to figure out one of these things being false purely by the information given. Okay, so answer choice A, the inspection of G is scheduled for day 4. Well, can G be 4? I don't see why not. Right? The only thing we know is that if G is 3, then Q's got to be 5. But if G is 4, no idea. Okay, how about B? Answer choice B, the inspection of H is scheduled for day 6. H can do whatever it wants. Right? H is a floater, so there's no way that that can't be true. How about C? The inspection of J is scheduled for day 4. So if J is in 4, that means Q and R are in 5 and 6, right? And we can do that. If F is 1, J, Q, R, right? That's fine. So answer choice C doesn't have to be false. How about D? The inspection of Q is scheduled for day 3. So if Q is 3, okay, that means we have to have a J before. So that actually works in both cases, right? Q, R, and then J has to be before it, and there's plenty of space for it. How about E? The inspection of R is scheduled for day 2. That can't ever happen, right? Because R has 2 things before it. So the earliest thing comes 3, J, Q, R, right? That's the earliest it goes. So answer choice E, definitely the answer to question 2. Moving forward, the inspection of which of the following cannot be scheduled for day 5. So this is day 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means it's the second to last day. Which immediately this rule once again looks to be in I guess I don't want to say jeopardy, but it's certainly the rule that I'm going to look to first because I want to see if it's being tested, right? Okay, so first things first. We know that actually let me actually just reproduce this slate of answers so that I can show you guys exactly how I would eliminate these, right? First of all, we know that H is a floater. It can do whatever it wants, so great. H can go wherever it wants, right? The second thing is that, if G is 3, Q is 5, this doesn't actually express anything having to do with whether or not something can be scheduled for day 5, right? And in fact, actually, I think we know that Q can be scheduled for day 5 if G is scheduled for 3. So, Q is also definitely out. But then the thing about that is that this rule is basically the only other rule we have, right? Like F is not an answer choice, or F clearly would not be able to go in 5, right? But then over here, these don't tell you whether or not something can go in 5. It just establishes some kind of conditional relationship. In other words, if we take the contrapositive, Q is not in 5, G is not in 3, which means that G could go anywhere as well, right? So G is definitely not it. Which just leaves us with J and R, which sort of is what we assume to begin with, right? Because this is the only rule that tells us what can go, what has to go where in what order. Right, so now they're just asking us what can't be scheduled for day 5. Is it J or is it R? Well, if you schedule J for day 5, there's 2 things after it, and that's just never going to work. Answer choice C is definitely the answer here. Right, whereas answer choice E, like if you put R here, there's plenty of space before for J and Q, right? In either scenario, so that can't be right. And so also the answer to the question number 3 is C. Okay, question 4. The inspections scheduled for day 3 and day 5, respectively, could be that of. Okay. So answer choice A is G and H, and then G and R, H and G, R and J, R and H. Okay, so now we're looking at day 3 versus day 5, right? So the first thing is if G is in slot 3, Q's got to be in slot 5. Period. End of story. Let's actually write this so we don't confuse ourselves, right? So anywhere where G is 3, Q has to be 5. Answer choices A and B are just completely wrong. Okay. And then so we've taken care of this rule, which means that once again this is the only rule we have to worry about. J before the QR block, right? Okay, so answer choice C. Can we put H in 3? Well, we can always put H wherever it wants. And then can we put G in 5, right? So let's think about that for a second. So if H is in 3, then G is in 5. That means that we have to put this J in front of QR block and this F in there somewhere. Right, so the first thing that we sort of think to ourselves is that, oh, we don't know where F goes, right? But I don't think that actually ends up mattering. If you draw this out, right, H is in 3, G is in 5, and then I challenge you to put J before QR into this construction, right? And you'll find that you can't do it. The only place where you can put QR as a block is 1 and 2, but you definitely can't do that because then there's no room for J. Right? So regardless of where F goes, if F goes in 1, it's definitely wrong, right? If F goes in 6 is the only possibility, except that doesn't work either, right? How about answer choice D? Answer choice D should be pretty similar, R and J, right? In 3 and 5, right? So once again, if R is in 3, that means Q is in 2, that means J is in 1, which means that F is in 6, right? And then you just look right here. Right, you have 2 J's. There's no way that J is going to come after R, right? And actually, you don't even have to do this. You could have just taken a look at this rule and just known that it wasn't correct, right? So it's got to be E. So I mean, let's actually just sketch this out for the sake of completeness and see why that could be the case. So if R is 3, Q is 2, J is 1, F is 5, or F is 6 rather. J, Q, R, F, G, and then G has to go right here, right? So this is follow our rules. F is in 6, J before the QR block. G is not in 3, so we don't trigger that rule, right? Answer choice E is correct here. Alright, let's keep moving. Question 5. If the inspection of R is scheduled for the day immediately before the inspection of F, which of the following must be true about the schedule? So now we have RF as a block, right? Which means that, look, F's either got to be 1 or 6. Can you put R before F here? No. So it's got to be like this. It's got to be RF in a block, right? Okay. And so what does this immediately tell us? It tells us that Q is not in 5. So therefore G is definitely not in 3. Right? Okay. And then what else do we need? We need that J before QR block, and then we have H floating around doing something. Right? Okay, so they're asking us which of the following must be true about the schedule. Right? Okay. So given that this is what we have, right? Like R, we know that R's got to be in 5, and we know that G can't be in 3. And so from here, actually, there's another thing I left out here is that Q has to come right before R because this is also a block, right? Okay, so now getting rid of this actually, right? We have J, we have G, we have H to place, and we know that G can't be here, right? And so this, we basically have 2 inferences here. Like this one, they're never going to test you on because R coming before F being in 5 and 6, that's just too easy. But we have this one where Q's got to be in 4. We have this one where G can't be in 3, right? And then we just don't know anything about the first 2 slots, right? So you scan through answer choices, like answer choice A. Let's actually write out the letters so we can eliminate them properly. Right? Answer choice A. Inspection of G or H is scheduled for day 1. Why? Why couldn't J be here? Right? There's no reason. So get rid of it. How about B? The inspection of G or J is scheduled for day 1. Isn't that what it just said? Oh, answer choice A is G, G, and H, right? Answer choice B is G and J, and the same thing just applies. H actually is a floater, right? So there's no reason it can't be in 1. Get rid of it. How about C? The inspection of either G or J is scheduled for day 2. Once again, we know nothing about this slot, right? Why couldn't it be H? D, the inspection of either H or J is scheduled for day 3. That's something we do know, right? Because G cannot ever go in slot 3, right? And so that what that leaves us is either H or J in slot 3. Answer choice D has to be true. How about E? Just to be sure, the inspection of either H or J is scheduled for day 4. Yeah, right. That's Q. Right. So that's question 5. Let's actually get rid of this, or let's make it smaller. Let's put this down here. Let's actually label this answer choice. This is our work for answer choice C, D, and E over here, and we're going to do this so we can get a little more space on the screen. Right? Okay. So answer choice. Question 6. If the inspection of G and H are scheduled not necessarily in that order for days as far apart as possible, which of the following is a complete and accurate list of factories, any one of which could be scheduled for inspection on day 1? Okay. So basically, what they want us to do, they want us to put G and H as far apart as humanly possible, right? So remembering that we have 2 scenarios. That's going to happen in 2 different ways. If F is first, then we have G and H in 2 and 6. If F is last, we have G and H in 1 or 5, right? Because that's the furthest they can get away with each other. And so that's fine. That's just kind of the way it is, right? So now they're asking us for a complete and accurate list of things that can go in that first slot. Well, there's your answer, F, G, H, right? And what answer choice is that? And that's answer choice D. Right, and as soon as you split it out into these two scenarios, you see very clearly that these are the only 2 things that could possibly go in that first slot. Okay, home stretch. Question 7. If the inspection of G is scheduled for the day immediately before the inspection of Q, which of the following could be true? So we have G right before Q. Q is right before R. So now this becomes this giant mega block, all before J, right? And so now they're asking us which one of these could be true, right? So once again we have our two possibilities, right? We have J before GQR, and then we have this H floating around here somewhere, right? Okay, so let's write out these answer choices so we can eliminate them properly. So answer choice A, inspection of G scheduled for day 5. Yeah, right. No way, right? And definitely not with this huge block. Inspection of H scheduled for day 6. H scheduled for day 6 means that we're here, right? So H scheduled for day 6. Means that we have J before G, Q, and R. But then we violate this rule, right? G is definitely going to be in slot 3, so Q should be in slot 5, except it's not, right? So answer choice B, also incorrect. Let's get rid of this. Let's talk about answer choice C. Answer choice C says the inspection of J is scheduled for day 2. Well, can we do that? Well, if the inspection of J is scheduled for day 2, that means we can have J, and then, I don't know, we definitely can't put G in 3, right? We definitely can't put G in 3, but we have room for that. G can be in 4, 5, and 6, right? So we have J here, G, Q, R, and then H can go right there, right? That answer choice C looks like it can work, right? So let's keep that one around. Let's get rid of this stuff, and let's move on. Let's just convince ourselves the answer choice C is correct, right? Okay. Answer choice D. Inspection of Q scheduled for day 4. Q, which means that G is in 3 in both cases. Nope, that's not going to work, right? We definitely know that G can't be in 3 if this is true. And then how about E? The inspection of R is scheduled for day 3. If R is scheduled for day 3, that means Q is in 2, G is in 1, there's no room for H. And so answer choice C is the only one that works, right? And so there's your game.